Guess what we found out? You don't have to rewire your ceiling light to get the look of a hand-blown pendant lamp. Amazing when you think what this looked like before. Just a builder's grade boob light, otherwise known as a flush mount dome light. Now it looks like something out of an Italian castle, and there was no rewiring. It's so pretty even in daylight, and you can even do this if you're renting. Best of all, our pendant shade was about $20. All you need is a metal hanging basket like you see for holding plants, and there are so many beautiful styles to choose from. You'll just need some plastic or glass bowls to fit inside, and keep in mind these baskets also come in white too. You can spray paint them any color and make cup hooks to match them. So here's the plan. We'll be putting 3 cup hooks evenly spaced around a dome light so that we can hang a wire basket centered underneath. So you'll want a basket that's in good shape so it'll easily hold bowls, and if you're using glass, make sure you use cup hooks that have anchors included. More about those later. So you can stack the bowls at any distance depending on how you adjust the chains, and then color the bowls to your heart's content using homemade or premium glass paints or decoupage and gems. These are 2 vintage bowls we found on eBay for $15, and they're really cute with an Art Deco style, plus all those pretty details we can hand color. Here's what they look like in the basket right under the dome. So this is one configuration we can do for our light shade, but for more drama, we found these acrylic bowls from the dollar store for just $2 each. You want to handle these with care because they'll scratch very easily. And here's what they look like in the basket. Would be a great configuration if you're on a tight budget. You want to paint or decoupage these and you'll have a light cover for very little money, especially if you already have the baskets as we did and you make your own paints, which we didn't do. We used the best glass paint we could find, which is made by PBO in France for stained glass projects. It looks like real stained glass, but it's tricky to apply. We tested on glass gems or thrifted glass first, and just in testing it out, we got this look of iridescent glass. So if you want to try this effect, we did cobalt blue first, and then when that's dry, we go over it with lemon yellow. Now look at these color shifting effects. It's like expensive carnival glass or rare Italian Murano. Vintage glass like these bowls with pressed glass designs are almost like working on a coloring book page. Just paint within the line. We recommend disposable brushes like these with fine tips and maybe a starter set of PBO glass paint or whatever brand you like. And we also recommend taking a photo first and sketching out your color plan so that you've got a clear plan before you start on what you're going to do with your colors. This is almost like painting with fingernail polish or enamel model paint like testers. So you've got a few seconds where you can wipe it off with a damp cloth, but then it hardens pretty quickly. So this type of PBO is called vitriol, and it does not need to be baked afterwards, but it's not food safe either. So if you want to use these bowls later for food, just paint the outside away from the top edge of the bowl. Our metal basket is going to provide the effect of lead in our finished light shade, but if you want a heavier leaded look, we recommend using dark gray chalk paint. That's just paint making it look like real leaded stained glass, but it's so easy. So now we're just doing the iridescent effect on the details of this bowl. We like using the caps to pour out small amounts of paint. Those will get wiped out with mineral spirits later and get stored in the refrigerator for a longer shelf life. Because these paints are not cheap, though, they go a long way. See how I steady my own arm here? And see the bottom of the bowls? Here we've poured about 2 teaspoons of aqua green paint, and we're going to let this dry for a couple of days and don't touch it. You can spread it out a little at first and it'll level out very nicely and look like a piece of stained glass. And now for those dollar store bowls, here's how we're going to get this look. You can get these in the catering and party supplies area of the store, and you can also get acrylic pieces that look like cut glass, and that would be really fun to paint. The glass gems should be at the dollar store too. We're going to put a bead of Gorilla Glue on the bowl, add a gem, and hold it in place with masking tape until it dries. We have 12 gems for each bowl. We've used a restrained palette for our lampshade, but just think of the fun you could have with carnival colors if you really wanted to do a Tiffany style effect. You can use these painted gems and really let your imagination go with those. We'll let the glue dry for a day. Then when we remove the tape, we cut circles from each piece and we put it behind each gem. This is so that when we spray paint the inside of the bowl behind the gem, the light will still be able to go through to the blue and they'll be nice and bright. So we're going to mask off the outside of the bowl and put a plastic wrap bowl with both tape and plastic bags, and then we put a smaller plastic wrap bowl on the bottom of the inside. We used a Lazy Susan to help us spray the inside, and I used 2 colors of Tamiya spray paint. And you can use Krylon spray paint too. They make a good transparent paint. Oh, I forgot to wear my mask, and I definitely am going to go get it for the rest of this project because you don't want to breathe in paint. I did an orange rim, and when that was dry, I used an even smaller bowl on the inside and did a yellow layer. We love these translucent spray paints, but you don't have to do such elaborate designs. In fact, our spray paint wanted to drip, it was a bit uneven, and like I said before though, this adds kind of that one-of-a-kind handmade art glass look. So here I am using an awl to make small holes in the ceiling so I can knock in an anchor. Then we'll screw the cup hooks into those. So you want to do your best to measure and get all of this evenly spaced, so your basket chains will look really nice and centered and balanced. And see that extra chain hanging down? We're going to add colored stained glass crystals around the top edge of the original bowl. So we'll keep that extra chain up there for now and make a short video of that in the future. That's going to look so awesome. And we've got 2 of these light shades now, and we'll be putting them about 10 feet away from each other for a really classic matching look. But even if it's just one of these you need, you will not regret taking the time to make it. And even if you're renting, you can easily remove the hooks and putty over the anchor tops and take the beauty with you wherever you go. So don't miss our next project. Click on the sun logo to subscribe and see what's new at Love for a Country House. See you again sometime.